Welcome back to the MTL podcast. I'm your host, Lawrence. Hope we have a good day. We had a good day. Long weekend of tears. My boy Markel over here. He saw that new GOTG3. Got him all hurt inside. But you know what? We're moving past that. Um, he's got a strong will now, and he's ready to talk about some sports, get his head back in the game. Let's get it on.
For sure.
Talk about some AFC draft here. So basically what we're going to try to do here, we're going to take two teams, one bad, one good. We're going to break it down. We ain't got all day now. So, one team each, good, bad. I don't want no uglies. So, let's get it on. So first thing first, Tevin, give me your good, give me your bad, give me your why, and give me your where.
All right. So let's start with good. I'm going to give for the good. Finally, the Houston Texans have done something right. Although ownership probably should be, looked into because of the whole Deshaun Watson thing, but that's another topic for another day. But they did massage the draft, right? Hey, all right. But for real, though, you see what I did there? But yeah, no, they did do their thing with the draft, like being committed to staying at 2, even though they could have flipped around, moved some pieces. Like I guess you could be mad about not having 1, but really they didn't, in my opinion, I don't feel like they lost the guy that they probably would have leaned to and picked that 1 anyway. So, I mean, to me, it's like, how you going to be mad about being number 2 when you are one of the worst teams in the league? I just don't even get like the concept of the draft, and we can talk about that later, like the NFL, NBA. How does the worst team get the best pick? Isn't the whole point, if you're the best team, that you should be getting the reward past just getting a little trophy? I digress. The Texans got CJ Stroud, stayed at 2, did what they were supposed to do. We got a quarterback. Nobody wants Davis Mills, whatever Mills, Foreman Mills. Nobody want that man to be playing quarterback in Houston, Miami, wherever he want to go. Stanford, you had one for a little bit. He's got to go. He turns the ball over. D'Amico Ryans is a defensive head coach. He doesn't want somebody who's going to turn the ball over. That's just opposite of what any coach, but especially a defensive guy, wants to do. You put my defense on the field more, and the whole point is that we are giving you the ball back, turning the ball over, and that goes into the second pick, which they moved back up in the draft. Use pick, I believe they had 12 somewhere around there. Use that pick, move back up, gave a lot of pieces. They gave a first round next year. I don't know, because of the rookie wage scale, teams don't really have to give up that much. So they gave up a lot to have to move back and a pick after and pick Will Anderson Jr. A cornerstone. I feel like he's going to be somebody who they can lean on long term. I would have personally thought they would have went like more of a Mario Williams kind of guy and a Tyree Wilson. He has that bust boom potential because he doesn't have as much production as a Myles Garrett coming out of Texas A&M. But he's like the prototypical defensive end in today's league. Fast, get off, big, strong, could take the double team. Like Will Anderson Jr., he can, but he's more of that outside linebacker fit. Like he's more of not even like a Hassan Reddick, but like a lesser Von Miller. Like he's not. You can send a double team at Von Miller, and it's like, okay, cool, but he's not like a cornerstone defensive end, if that makes sense. Like he's not a big body. These 6'2", 240, 250 dudes, they're going to get moved. You're talking about 600-pound dudes. Like if you send a tackle, that's 3 something. Then you send a guard, let's say on the light side, he's 290s. No, that's the light side, right? And he probably not even playing for real. He's not even a starter. If he's in the 2s, he's probably in the 3s. That's 600 pounds of men, pause, up on you. Double pause. So Will Anderson Jr., though, is like a cornerstone pick. And to pair him with the CJ Stroud, very accurate quarterback. I don't like the fact that they tried to square him into this. He needs to be more elusive. Like, I thought y'all wanted black quarterbacks to stop running. this guy doesn't run. He's accurate. Then you want him to run. Make up your mind. He's accurate. He uses the weapons that he had. Like if he didn't play well, especially for Ohio State quarterbacks, if he didn't play well with Jackson Smith and Jigba and all the other pieces Ohio State can muster up, they would have said, "Oh, you had all this talent and you ain't do nothing with it." All he did was go up against one of the best teams that we've seen in college football history in Georgia and go toe to toe with them, right? Had a good season, showed that he was accurate, played well, played from the pocket, which a quarterback in the league is going to have to do, especially for a team that primarily their offense is going to be centered on them playing from the pocket. They're not like a run first, well, in terms of like quarterback run design stuff, all that crap. They're not a run first team. They want a third down, make the throws, be a field general, move us up and down the field. We got a strong run game with Pierce. They're not going to ask him to do too much. That's what the 49ers was doing. That's his recipe. That's just where he came from. And he's a defensive coach. Defensive dudes don't want all too flashy. So just off those two picks, staying aggressive and have two cornerstone dudes, as long as you don't ask CJ Stroud to take no tests, we're good here. So Will Anderson Jr. Should be a solid dude. Borderline Pro Bowl dude. Depending on how D'Amico Ryans uses him, he has a connection from Alabama linebacker as well. So I'm really excited about what the Texans did. They got two, I feel like I can say close to home run picks. I don't feel like Will Anderson Jr. will be defensive player of the year or defensive rookie of the year, but he'll be in the conversation. He's just going to be a really good player for them. Kind of like if y'all remember Merciless, Whitney. I think it was Whitney Merciless. He was a good player for them. He's kind of like in that mode to me. Jadeveon Clowney, we'll see, because I don't want him to be like that bust. Because Jadeveon Clowney was good, but he could have been better. So I don't want to put him in like that kind of mode to be like he's going to be a bust. He's not going to be a bust. He's going to be a solid starter, like a Merciless dude. So, and then we just got to see if they keep adding pieces to the offense for Stroud. The sky's the limit for them. So I give him a B because they gave up a lot to get to 3. So I have to give you a B, but they made it work for them. So yeah, shout out to Texans.
Nice.
So going along with that, since that's your good, what's your bad, man? Who sucked it up?
There's a couple yikes. I'm gonna have to go with the Titans though. Look, they got a steal just off of value for getting a quarterback that was supposed to be projected a first round pick in Will Levis. They got Skoronski, probably the better, one of the top 5 offensive linemen in this draft. Skoronski could play. Peter Skoronski, their first round pick at 11. He can play inside with the guard position. He can play tackle on the outside. He's got short arms. You normally like short arm dudes to play in the guard position. But he measures out for everything you want from a guard. He doesn't get moved back very often. Plays with his, plays nasty. Not heavy on his toes. Can move. Has agility. I wouldn't say like he's like stiff hipped. He really can move. So Skoronski was one of those better players. I wouldn't put him at tackle. I just don't think tackle long term is going to be where he's going to make his money at. I think put him at guard, day one starter, and you got something there. But to have him at 11, not make another pick, not really. I don't think they picked up too many picks as well, because like you probably could have got Skoronski since he was falling on the board. How the board was set up, you probably could have got him another pick or two later and picked up some more and set up your team, because the Titans are low key one of those teams that are like going to fall into like where the Arizona Cardinals are, where they just need players as soon as possible. And if they can hit on a couple of those dudes, good job. So, and then they didn't need too many defensive players, like Jeffrey Simmons, Harry Landry, he's coming back off injury. So they have some pieces there, but offensive lineman Peter Skoronski, he was falling on the board. I feel like they could have maneuvered the board a little better at the first pick. And then, getting Will Levis is cool, but you just took a quarterback last year with Malik Willis, And then you're saying because you can't trust Malik, like you didn't really even give him a chance. It's just like Jeff Fisher when he had Vince Young. Like you ain't really give him a chance and you gonna call him a bump. You don't have no wide receivers. You just drafted an offensive lineman telling me your offensive line is poo. You drafted a guy who's a tweener. So you don't trust your tackles, you don't trust your guard, you don't trust nobody. And you got an aging running back superstar. You don't got nothing. You don't got nothing. So really the Titans are in a bad spot, and I don't think their draft necessarily helped them because even if Will Levis ends up playing at some point during the season, you wasted a pick because Will Levis at this point is just in fairness, right? I know this league ain't fair, but just on fairness, he's the third string quarterback. You took a second round pick on a third string quarterback. I don't know. I just don't know. Unless you're ready to play him now because you're not going anywhere, then fine. But I don't know, man. I feel like they could have done better. They got the running back from Tulane. His name escapes me, but he can play. He's coming off of an injury though, so we'll kind of see. I mean, it's King Henry's show, but I just don't feel like they got anybody besides Skoronski that is going to be a day one impact player, and they need day one impact players.
Okay, I feel you. I mean, I don't particularly disagree with you. I mean, for a team you said was pretty bad, you did talk super highly of their offensive linemen. So, I mean, I guess they're winner and loser in that regard. I do understand what you're saying. I think the only problem with Malik Willis is he didn't really play any high-end talent in college, so we thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. And then he got into the league a little bit when Tannehill was hurt and couldn't make a pass, save his life. So they thought they didn't have any other option. I mean, I get it. Markel, who's your good, who's your bad? Little bandwagon. I mean, little.
Watch it there, buddy.
I'm gonna say also, Will Levis, who is he beating? You may have played good teams, but did you beat those teams? Just food for thought.
I can say no to that question right there.
He winning with the girl though. All right. Did you see her? She was like, "My man, I didn't do that. I didn't do this."
I just know she wasn't there for what, round 2. She wasn't nowhere to be found.
She was smart. She was like, "All right, now you got to work back again." Like I was round 1, kind. Now like
yeah, can't show face day 2. But
Will text me.
Anyway, let's get on to my good. Actually, I'm gonna do the opposite, right? So I'm gonna start with the bad, so we can leave off on a good note. For the bad, I have selected the Buffalo Bills. You might be saying, "Hey, why the Bills?" Right? I think for the Bills, where their top needs were, they didn't address some very early on, right? So, I mean, for example, we look at their first round pick, Dalton Kincaid, which they traded up to get. To leapfrog the Cowboys, which the Cowboys are very keen on getting Kincaid. Now, I don't know if they have any, personal beef with Jerry Jones or whatever, but when you look at the Buffalo Bills' depth chart, I mean, look at last season. They had Dawson Knox. He's a pretty reliable tight end, and I know they said, going forward, they want, more options for Josh Allen so he can stop running, right? But when you look at the tight end position, it was the deepest draft for tight ends in a while. But when you look at their positional needs, they didn't really need to go there, especially with their first pick, where, there was still a lot of value on the board, right? So I think from that end, it was kind of like a luxury pick because you give, Josh Allen another option. Maybe that gives him more, room for thought before he takes off and runs, which he's probably going to do anyway, So maybe you see them run more 2-end tight end sets. They still have Diggs and Gabe Davis, but let's be honest, you can only really count on Gabe Davis every other game, right, to show up. So, maybe you get 3.5 weapons on average now that you took in Kincaid. So I didn't like that pick for them. And as far as their other picks, they addressed the need at linebacker. Edmonds left, so they had a huge hole to fill, and Von Miller's coming back from injury. And even though Vaughn usually plays the edge, he definitely can step in for linebacker and plug the middle if need be, right? So their pick, let me find it here. Their pick, I think it was round 3, Dorian Williams from Tulane. He's really good. He should be able to step in. He won't make the immediate impact that Edmonds did, but I think over time you'll see him blossom into a really good starter for them. And then we look at round 2. They drafted a guard, Torrance out of Florida. They did need offensive line help, so that was a good pick for them. They did need offensive line help, not only in protecting Allen, but trying to establish the run game more.
Yes, Torrance is a dog.
Yeah, he's really good, and I think the opposite of that is, you drafted a good guard, but you didn't draft a running back to help help Josh Allen to not be the leading rusher for your team for like the past the 2 seasons he's been the leading rusher for the Bills. So, and Singletary left, so he was kind of your lead back. So, I mean, we're looking at the depth chart right now, and it's pretty much going to be running back by committee next season. I mean, you have James Cook. You drafted him last year. He pretty much ran like 500 yards off of 87 carries, which isn't bad for a rookie. That's pretty much the RB2. But you probably, if Gibbs wasn't reached for, you probably would have had Gibbs sitting right there for you, and that probably would have been your pick. But hey, things happen, so you gotta pivot. So I don't blame them. But then you look at the others, Damian Harris, Naheem Hines, and they just signed Latavius Murray just like a week ago. So it's going to be running back by committee. It doesn't really solve the problem that they had the past couple seasons, right? So I think if you look at it in all, they didn't really address, defensive back, which has been suspect for them over the past couple of years. They took some guy in the 7th round, but that's pretty much a depth piece right there. So all in all, I think overall, no one really did horrible in this year's draft. But if I had to pick someone who didn't do as well as I would have liked them to do, it definitely would have been the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, they just didn't do their job, bro.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. I still think they're going to be a top team in the AFC for sure, but will they be able to get over that hump? I mean,
no, I don't believe it. I think Josh Allen is overrated. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I ain't going to, Josh Allen overrated. And if you need to do all of this, like, again, they're another team that needs impact players. And who is it? Kincaid?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's kind of hard for tight ends. Like, offensively, wide receiver is probably the easiest on offense, other than maybe running back, to like come in and hit like as a rookie. Bro, tight end is a little bit more difficult because you got blocking responsibilities. You play on that line of scrimmage. You got to learn the routes from a different perspective. Sometimes you can learn inside. Sometimes you might be getting lined out outside, especially if this guy Kincaid more closely compared to like a Travis Kelce. Am I right?
So yeah, he can catch, runs routes really good, but in terms of like blocking at the next level, he'll have a hard time.
Right. So I mean, like that kind of stuff, he's going to have to learn a lot in a short amount of time. So it's going to be a little bit more of a transition for him, especially because he's not even coming in as like a necessary number one or like a huge need. You know what I'm saying? I think they probably needed a wide receiver, like you're saying. Or if you could find another running back that maybe not a number one pick, either we move out of that pick and just move back, and then it makes more sense that we drafted some dude in the 2nd round, but he's really explosive. Like, he's one of those. He earned that spot and set our team up for success. Or you move up and get one of the stars, Gibbs, Robinson, but you would have had to, pay the price, but pay the price.
Yeah. I think in this draft, they should have paid more of a price than just move up a couple of spots and just get this Kincaid guy. I'm sure the kid's going to be great, really talented, but it was a luxury pick for sure.
For sure.
Moving on to the good. We got rid of the bad, right? We're gonna take a look at the, my hometown team, Cincinnati Bengals, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give them an A. Not their name. I'm gonna give them an A. I think when you look at the draft, right? I'm gonna try to be as objective as possible, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Now, my only knock is, right, I think, sitting at pick 28, right, Michael Mayer is still on the board. Tight end was a need.
It was.
So my only criticism is, I think in that situation, I know you need pass rush, and I know it's been more of a secondary need because we have Henderson, we have Hubbard. Those guys can lock down the defensive end, right? And although they don't generate a lot of pressure, they definitely can play very, very well, right? So I understand. Hey, Miles Murphy's right there, and that's a need for the future because you're gonna have to pay one of those two guys, right? You can't keep them both because we have to pay. We already said we're gonna pay Higgins. We already said we're gonna pay Chase, right? And we gotta pay Burrow. So financial wise, it makes sense to kind of get a rotational piece right now.
Yeah.
And, I completely understand, but I think from a needs perspective, we got to go tight end right there. So that's my one knock against this draft is, hey, Michael Mayer's right there. He's like debatably the first or second best tight end in the class. You got to take him, right? And then once we go down the list, everything else is pretty much like by need basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
DJ Turner was there at pick 60. Good pickup. The kid can fly. Allowed 47% of his catches at Michigan. So I think that was his last season. So that was really good.
I think he can come in and start.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Eli Apple's gone. Awuzie, I'm pretty sure won't be back from his ACL tear. So he'll probably start week 1. They took a safety Jordan Battle with the third round pick at 95 from Alabama. Now we all know Alabama DBs are solid.
And you like D. Milner?
Trey Kirkpatrick. Dre was all right.
Dre was all right.
D. Milner was okay. Why'd you bring that up, Law?
To hurt his feelings a little.
J-E-T, Jets.
My dad's a Jets fan. I watched the D. Milner years.
We look at Battle, 3-year start for Alabama. Play really well.
He's pretty good.
And then surprise pick for me was Charlie Jones from Purdue. And apparently this kid's really good. I never watched him, never watched a Purdue game. So I think he has.
What a white boy.
He put up big numbers for Purdue. Really fast.
4.3 in the combine. Yeah, he's a little twitchy.
Yeah. Some early comps have him as like a Wes Walker type, which I'll take. Hopefully he can be at least half of what Wes Walker was because that dude was a damn beast. You couldn't stop him back in the day. So I like that pick right there. And then we got Chase Brown as pretty much like the heir apparent to Joe Mixon. Hopefully if everything pans out, Chase Brown, I think he either won or was like runner up for like running back in the nation.
Yeah, no, he was a dog. He put up some solid numbers.
He's really good at Illinois. He just gets hurt.
His brother got drafted by the Eagles, Sydney. So he got a nice little lineage, I guess, if you want to say that. They got a nice story.
And I'm pretty sure, if you guys are listening, you probably already seen all the viral things on Twitter of him crying when he got the call by Zach Taylor. Because, his family went through a lot. So that was really cool for him. Yeah. And then this Princeton, I think it's this kid from Princeton. I think he's just tall and fast. So it's pretty much just a flyer pick on that. I mean, it's round 6. We had 2 picks to pretty much waste. So we go with this kid from Princeton, and then we get a punter because we had punting issues last season. Big glaring issue. Pretty much cost us that AFC championship game, if you want to be honest. And then we took another DB, Ivy from Miami, Florida. Don't know too much about him, but he'll probably just be a depth piece. So all in all,
special teams.
All in all, I really feel like it was a good draft. It was definitely a A plus, or not A plus. It just an A draft for them. There's some teams that definitely drafted better, like the Eagles, and some other teams that are probably A plus tier. But I give the Bengals a solid A.
I would tend to agree with you on an A, like a B plus A. It really depends on what Murphy does. When you're picking that low, it's like it's a luxury because hey, like we're a low team because we've made it farther than these scrub teams. Yeah. However, we're in this draft and like the way it is set up, we don't have ability to get top 10 top guys. Like we just got to let the board fall to us. Tight end, like you said, yes, it's a need, but if they had gotten the tight end right, let's say they got Myers or whoever else, because some of these tight ends were on the second round was just flying.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah, if they get one of these dudes, like especially because he's going to be like a first round pick is a 5-year contract, second round 4-year. If you look at it like that, like if we got to pay Chase, Higgins, Let's say we let Mixon go. He's the odd man out on offense. We paid Orlando Brown. We still gotta, always add to the offensive line. And then we got, of course, Burrow got to get paid. There's just too much money going on to our offense. So Miles Murphy kind of balances out, especially because he's not necessarily an edge rusher. You can line him up inside too. Like you kind of need that when you're going to be paying a significant amount of money to the offense. And he gives you that 5-year window where like a tight end is a 5-year window, but it's back on my offense. 5-year window on my defense, that makes more sense. And then when I'm ready to give him a little bag, by that time, like Burrow's deal is not hurting me as much. Chase deal not hurting me as much. Higgins deal not hurting me as much. So it's like it was a little strategic pick for them, and then they doubled down by getting a cornerback from Michigan, like you said, Turner. So they was strategic in what they did. They knew it's going to come down to, I don't care what people say, like even though the NFL is trying to get rid of defense, you have to win by playing defense. Otherwise, let's just get rid of it and let's play XFL or whatever, like flag football. Because that's not even, I ain't gonna play the XFL. Let's just play flag football. Just play offense 7-on-7s. Like you gotta play defense. So I think it was strategic what the Bengals did. So I like what you said. Like solid A, because you're not able to get one of these premier dudes. Depends on Miles Murphy. It's going to really depend on how he develops. But I think they might have been able to come out with some solid steals. So your Bengals, they can whatever your little slogan is.
Who they?
Who that?
All right, Lawrence, what you got for us?
I'll throw the floor back over to me. I'll do a little chime in on both of you guys. To refer back to what you said, your opening statement with both the Tennessee Titans with their Will Levis, who is he beaten? Mm-hmm. So he has the second most wins in Kentucky history, only playing 2 seasons there. He's never been in an SEC title game. That's unfortunate. But he did win a Citrus Bowl. So that's something. He beat Florida twice.
Citrus Bowl.
He beat Florida twice, once with Richardson. So, I mean, he's better than Richardson. Obviously, Richardson went before him, but obviously Prudy was better. He beat Malik Cunningham twice at Louisville. Malik Cunningham is no slouch. He beat Iowa in the Citrus Bowl. So, Levis has a nice little college career. Can't be too bad on it. Little chime in over here on Bengals. Grade A. Proud of your Miles Murphy pick. Only problem with that is, I mean, Clemson hasn't been the best the last 2 years. I'm just going to point that out there. The ACC definitely hasn't been the best the last 2 years. I'll definitely throw that out there. Outside of a few teams like maybe North Carolina, that's just because of last year. The May kid out of North Carolina just went crazy with those wide receivers he had. But they're going to take a step back because even though May's still going to be good, he's got no one to throw to anymore. So, yeah, I mean, Mays looks really good on paper, but I'm telling you, like you said before, should have went tight end because in the end, the grand all be all, if you guys have a really good year again, you're not going to be able to pay Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. You're just not going to be able to pay all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's pipe dreams, man.
Yeah, you're just never going to be able to pay all 3 of them because if they make it really far again, one of them, probably not Burrow and probably not Chase, it's definitely going to be Higgins, is going to want the bag. And he's going to be upset that the other 2 got the bag because, they're not going to take Chase away from Burrow. That just ain't going to happen. So I think you were right when your statement. They should have went tight end. Like if it all be all, like your bet, like going into the season after that, your best wide receivers are Jones, Boyd, and Chase. Dude, Boyd is a perfect number 2 if you let him get a chance. I mean, Boyd can play number 2.
Got him on Boyd. Yeah,
Boyd's a dog. So I'll go back into what I was going to do for the good. I got the Steelers, so I think the Steelers one-upped you in their own division. I think you're a little clouded, but you did say you think the Steelers had a good draft, but you are right.
I ain't say all that.
You have to go with your team.
You said Mike Tomlin's the best head coach in the league.
Oh, he definitely is top 3. Definitely is top 3. I don't know about best.
Lie to us, Markel.
Maybe top 2. Maybe top 2. So, yeah, I mean, Mike Tomlin, I mean, if you look at his Monday Night Football record, he's only lost 1 time on Monday Night Football. That's outstanding. That's pretty incredible.
Bruh, he started a quarterback named Duck. Come on, man.
So I'm going to go in here and talk about the Steelers real quick. I think it was a great idea to go offensive tackle, first pick. Sure up your quarterback. Like or I'm investing in you. Pick it. This pick just shows you like I'm investing in you. Okay, you're my guy. I'm going to take care of you. So he brings in a guy to take care of him. I mean, their O-line is pretty decent. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but you can always strengthen it a little bit. Exactly what they did. Okay, they got lucky as hell that no one picked up Joey Porter Jr. somehow, some way. He makes it to them the first pick in the second round. Oh, that's just rigged. That just screams rigged. But God had a plan. God's plan. Joey Porter goes back to his father's team. He's going to light it up. It's going to look real good. So I think that was an absolute steal in the second round for the Steelers to get Joey Porter Jr. because you can never go wrong with a corner. And let's face it, looking at the cross the field, I got to go against Chase, Higgins, Boyd. If Joey Porter is going against Boyd, I ain't got a problem with it. That's pretty good. I mean, Boyd might beat him a little bit just for that veteran knowledge, but I mean, you're also going to look at it. I got these three corners, and I'm playing the Browns. They ain't got no one. I'm playing the.
Come on, they
Ravens.
got Cooper. Stop playing with him.
Any of the corners for the Steelers are bottling up Odell. Not sorry. Odell didn't get that kind of quick release anymore. So if they're going to put a high safety on Odell, watch him. If the corner following the whole route, I don't think Odell's got it like that anymore. You just double team him, take him out. So I feel like that's going to happen. And then finally, what they did in the fourth round, what we talked about before, you brought it up on the show, Darnell Washington, big boy out of Georgia, fourth round pick. What the? What? He goes in the fourth round. Now we got Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. That's scary. I mean, that O-line, just with them, that running game they can do, the little play action plays they can run, that's scary. That's low-key a little scary because those are two big boys. I mean, Freiermuth's pretty good, but Freiermuth ain't no Darnell Washington big. So Freiermuth definitely is going to have the hands. Darnell's going to have that, I'm going to beat your butt up. I'm going to beat you up real good. And no one's going to say shit to Darnell because he's a big-ass man.
Perfect time to pick.
Yeah. One thing I will say about this is the only reason I brought it up before about Will Levis. I think the Patriots did a good job getting Malik Cunningham, undrafted free agent. I think Malik Cunningham, I think he has a chance if we realize that Mac Jones ain't what he's supposed to be, and I don't think he is. I think Malik Cunningham can actually start making some waves. Because Malik Cunningham is a good quarterback, and with Bill Belichick telling him what to do, I think he can take the next step. I mean, he was really good at Louisville, super good at Louisville.
I'm actually kind of mad that he didn't get drafted yet. So
well, he went to Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick loves him with QB that will listen. So that's my good Steelers. I think they were just straight up winners of the whole draft, just maybe top 3 draft. And then we're going to go with the bad. I got the Chargers.
Ooh. San Diego?
I don't have a problem with the wide receiver pick, right? Wide receiver pick, fine.
I do.
I don't have a problem with it.
Come on. I kind of know Q like Q, all right.
Yeah, I get why they got it, though. It's a smart pick, okay? Mike Williams is here and there hurt. Keenan Allen's always hurt. So we need someone that's going to be on the field consistently. We need consistent action on this field. I mean, they're great when they have them, but those two. Mike Williams is kind of at the prime of his career, but Keenan Allen might be going towards the latter part of his career. So I think it's a good pick. My main problem comes after. They didn't get any O-line. I mean, Herbie's getting smashed up, and they didn't get him any O-line, okay? He's got 300-pound men trying to kill him, throwing their weight on him. Herbert's a cute-looking boy. You can't be having that.
I knew this was getting
You can't be having that. You can't be having that. When you got a good-looking quarterback like that, you can't be having 300-pound men throw their weight on top of him. Just can't work like that.
He do like to get that
man.
Blue going.
Yeah, man. So I don't understand why they didn't do anything about offensive line. Again, I have no problem with getting Max Duggan from TCU in the 7th round. That was just a throwaway.
Solid. Yeah.
That's just backup filler. Okay,
backup for them.
in case Herbie gets hurt, I got Duggan to get out there and get beat up to high hell because my O
Yeah,
line
and it'll
sucks.
work. I bet you it'll work.
Because my O line sucks. So yeah, I got a quarterback to back him up. And then okay, they need defensive line. Okay, we need defensive line. Okay, I get it. We have Quill Mack and we have Joey Bosa. Outside of those two, the defensive line isn't very good. I mean, I think it's Sebastian Joseph Day is their best defensive tackle, best interior defensive lineman. That's not saying a whole lot. That's your best. That's the best you got. So instead, let's go get an edge rusher, a linebacker, and we get a defensive end in the 6th round out of Boise State. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I thought maybe you should attack that defensive line because last year the problem was people ran the crap out of you. They just ran all over you. Okay. So what'd you do? You didn't strengthen the problem. You just decided to get linebackers and edge rushers. I get it if you're in a high flying game and you need some edge rush, but you also can't let a team meticulously walk down the field and run the ball all over you all game because then your star quarterback that you're going to pay a lot of money toward, well, he doesn't get the damn ball, and every time he gets the ball, well, he hasn't had the ball for 6 minutes because the team walked down the field running the ball, so he can't get any rhythm because the team's just walking down the field on the ball. So, I mean, the Chargers, I get it. I don't get it though because I feel like maybe some other weaknesses on the team are kind of safety. Yeah, you got Derwin James, but you ain't got no one else besides Derwin James. And you ask the man to do everything every single year, and what happens to him? He gets hurt. Why does he get hurt? Because the man's doing everything. Give him some help. That's all I'm saying. I just don't think they actually, outside of the 1st round pick of getting a wide receiver, which arguably you could have just gotten a wide receiver later in the draft because wide receivers are always there. So you could have just gotten a wide receiver later, but you should have done with your 1st round pick. You should have done something to strengthen what your holes were, your weaknesses were. They didn't move around. They just picked one pick in round 1, one pick in round 2, one pick in round 3, one pick in round 4. They didn't do anything to try to move around the board. It was just basic, boring, and it's just bland. No offense, Markel.
All right. Well, that was hilarious. I'll say I'll go for your Chargers real quick. I tend to agree with you. Apparently, they picked up some dude, Jordan McFadden, a guard from Clemson, in the 5th round. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Do a little developmental piece. Let's see if your offensive or your offensive line coach know what he's doing. But they were 16th, middle of the pack, in sacks allowed, 39. I just don't feel like, and again, I could be a hater. I'm not a Justin Herbie. I think he's a little tad overrated, me personally. But
I'm right there with you.
I'm just me personally. Like, especially like when you look at the fact that they put a significant amount of money onto the defense. The offense was supposed to be set, right? Specifically because they had him, right? Himibert, whatever you call him, Berbert, Himbert, whatever.
He's loaded.
Okay, and yet he can't win nothing. He can't win nothing. It's just like, bro, there's just too. I know, like their offense consistently, somebody's gonna be hurt. If it's not Mike Williams, if it's not Keenan Allen, if it's not him, somebody, or if it's not somebody on the offensive line, somebody gonna be hurt. But I just feel like Herbert is just a tad overrated for where he is. He's a good quarterback. He has the arm capacity, improv, the play strength. He can get it done. It's just that he doesn't get it done. So I'm not a fan of, giving Justin Herbert a significant amount of money when he hasn't necessarily earned it. Like Jalen Hurts went to the playoffs, went to the Super Bowl. If you're telling me that Justin Herbert has not gotten as much as Jalen Hurts did, you're tripping. Walking into the league, he had top 10-ish wide receivers on both sides. You decided to draft. You decided to get Brandon Staley, which is like, that's their fault. I thought they should have just went through the bag of Sean Payton. That probably would have solved a lot of their issues, but that's their fault. I like Q. It's just that Q is not going to be. Q is the same body type, so they figure like we work with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen a little bit. We can work with Q and develop him to at least fit the role of Mike Williams. It at bare minimum. So they don't like. It's not a bad pick, but I feel like they probably could have traded back a little bit again and just like maneuvered the draft a little bit. This is showing you how teams are not as smart. If Philly can get Nolan Smith, they're not playing the board. Like if Philly can get Nolan Smith at 30, y'all not playing the board, right? Nobody's playing the board, right? If Bill Belichick can get Christian Gonzalez at like what 15?
17.
17, you're not playing 17. The board, right? Yeah, he traded back. You stupid. Come on, bro.
Did you hear the rumor about that? Apparently the Steelers called up Belichick and were like, "Hey, let us trade up to 15. We'll piss off the Jets because we'll get an offensive tackle." And Bill Belichick was thinking to himself, "I don't need an offensive tackle, so I don't give a damn. Okay, my guy will be here at 17 because he knows the Jets aren't going to take him because, well, the Jets don't need a corner. They had 2 good corners. They don't need a corner. So the Jets aren't going to take him. So I can move back 2 spots, piss off technically his old team for 2 days, his arch rivals. Of course he'd do it. So, yeah.
Well, I thought it was because they gave him a 4th when he could have got like a 2nd or a 3rd. There were teams calling for a 2nd and a 3rd.
See, now if Robert Kraft want to fire him, I didn't think if Robert Kraft shut his mouth, because Bill Belichick, you wouldn't have a Super Bowl. You wouldn't have an appearance if it wasn't for him. But if there was a fireable offense for that could be fireable. Don't sit here because you cheated and then one of your man snitched on you. You want to go out here and start putting out vendettas. They in our division. Like, you can just go beat them. Like, ain't nobody worried about the Jets like that, bro, because they got Aaron Rodgers. You've been beating quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. That's the whole reason we got 6 Super Bowls. Man, sit down, bro. But digress. Your Steelers pick, though, excellent pick. They used to call these guys dancing bears, big maulers. Broderick Jones is one of them. Like, he can get at a tackle position. I seen him get to like the 3rd level, and it's just that easy. These Georgia boys, I don't know what they drink, I don't know what they smoking, I don't know what they drag racing, but they get it done. And Broderick Jones he's a perfect Steeler pick. So I like that. Darnell Washington, I like. Joey Porter Jr., like I told y'all that the fix was in. It was like Mac Jones going to New England. Like, all right, we're not going to pick him, and we know where he's going. So everybody else go pick somebody else. Like, that's just how the league works, bro. Don't snitch, bro. That's how the league works, bro.
I mean, I'm like you just said, Mac Jones. I'm not sold on Mac Jones. I'm just not.
No, they not sold on Mac Jones.
I think Bailey Zappi played better than he did last year.
I did see that Chicago game. I was like, he's so nice. So when didn't he throw for like the most touchdowns? I think he broke Mac Jones' record. That's how petty Belichick is. He broke Mac Jones' record for passing touchdowns in the FBS, and wouldn't you know it, or FCS? Wouldn't you know it? This man Belichick, go ahead and draft him right after. I think it was a year after he drafted Mac Jones.
Yeah, like I said, I think Malik Cunningham, even if he doesn't work out on the Patriots, Bill Belichick's going to give you enough time to play in the preseason where you can get noticed. I think Malik Cunningham's going to get noticed in the preseason. He's going to end up as a 3rd-string quarterback on someone's bench. That's perfectly fine because you give that guy 2 years. I think Malik Cunningham can make a name for himself in the league. He's got a name for it, dude. His name's Cunningham, bro. Everyone remembers Cunningham. He's not that far removed. But anyways.
Yeah, how you feel?
But anyways, I digress. Moving forward, we got lots more to talk about. Stay tuned. I got more zingers, more dingers. All right, I'll hit them all at you. You going to play me like that? Okay, let's play some games, man. Let's talk about the games this season, okay? We got the Timberwolves and Cleveland Cavaliers, okay? Both had seasons, okay? We're going to call it that. Both had seasons. You guys are going to be here, and y'all are going to debate back and forth right now. Fight to the death with your thoughts. Timberwolves, Cavs, season grades, good, bad. Y'all can give me some uglies this time, okay? I know there's some guy on the Cleveland Cavaliers right now that y'all need to give me some uglies for. So hit me with it.
Markel.
Oh,
All right, I'll start.
toss it off.
We're gonna start in the East, right? Let's start with the good old Cleveland Cavaliers.
Who's the
I
ugly?
think.
Come on, let's put it out there. Who's the ugly?
Whoa. Let me throw out the grade first. Let me throw out the grade. I think for how the season went, I think we need a solid B, right? I think for me, they overachieved. I think when you look at it, yes, they have a good core, right? We got Donovan Mitchell, we got Evan Mobley, we got Darius Garland, who was an All Star. We got what's his name? What's Jackie Moon
Damn.
or what's the
Jackie
Afro
Moon.
dude? What's the Afro dude? Jared Allen. Yeah. I don't know
Jared
why I said
Allen.
Jackie Moon. I don't know why
I
that
don't
came
know.
into my head.
I don't know, man. This isn't the Flint
But
Tropics. Not even single
yeah,
uniforms.
yeah. But anyway, Jared Allen. I mean, so it's a nice young core. But when you look at the totality of their pieces, I didn't expect a top 4 seed in the East, right? I think when you look at it last year, they were a borderline playing team, and they lost their first game, so they got knocked up the playing. So it's okay. You add D Mitch, you probably become a top 5, 6 seed in the East. Definitely a playoff team at that. But I think the season they really took, instead of one step forward, they probably took like 1.5, right? Um, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, if you look at the MVP voting, he got some votes for MVP. So that just shows you how much he meant to this team, right? And just getting into their stuff, right? As far as what they can do this offseason. They don't have any picks, right? So they only have a second round pick, number 49, via Golden State from some trade from forever ago.
Welcome to the NBA.
Where their second round picks are just moving and flowing like nothing.
We'll trade a pick 20 years from now
if they can, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of free agents, we got Karis LeVert, Raul Neto, Robin Lopez. He's old. Danny Green. He's old. Lamar Stevens has a team option. Dylan Windler, Diakite, and Isaiah Mobley. So they have some free agents. We'll see if they re-sign them. I'm pretty sure they are below the luxury tax, so they can use their $12.2 million exception, which actually went up because the new CBA takes into effect this offseason. So goes from about $9 million to about $12.2 million. So we'll see who they add with that exception. They can use it for Karis LeVert, but he probably might want slightly more. So it'll be interesting to see there how that contract negotiation play out. But I think all in all, the Cavs were a really good defensive team this year, really good offensively as well. That's how they found themselves the top 4 seed. But I think, like I said, they kind of overachieved this season, so I'm not totally surprised by the result in the first round series against the Knicks. I was expecting it to go 7, but am I shocked that the Knicks won? Not necessarily, even though I did pick the Cavs. So yeah, solid B for me.
All right, Tevin. Now love me sexy. Give me your picks on how you think the Cleveland Cavaliers did this season.
Law. Listen, Markel, you're a nice guy. It's not me, it's you. Bruh, a B for the 5 that they have, honestly. If you told me you added Donovan Mitchell to a team that has Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Chris LeVert, I don't know if people forgot, he's a dog. He's a dog. And you added Donovan Mitchell to that team without having to like tremendously break up the 5, because they didn't. Like, Colin Saxon was nice, but Colin Saxon, Donovan Mitchell. Okay.
Yeah, obvious choice.
It's like, to me, I feel like they're, again, one of those teams that had a solid C-.
Wow.
Because they should have at least been in the semis. Is that too much to ask for a team that's got a dude who was able to get, what did he get, 50, 60 points in a game?
He got 72.
Donovan Mitchell can explode.
Or 71.
72 in a game, and then
72.
he accounted for 91 though if you count the assists.
Bruh. And that
That
team
means he's doing it
didn't
all.
get out of the first round to the New York Knicks. They can't beat Hemi Butler. They can't beat Hemi.
Neither can the Knicks.
Neither can the Knicks.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like the Knicks can't beat a Hemi Butler team, and that's the team you lost to. Like they didn't even get it to 6. I mean, they didn't get it to 7. Did they get it to 6?
Knicks 1-5.
Knicks 1-5.
Bro, you ain't even get it to 6. Come on, bro. I'm just saying, like they had a 51-31 record, right? They was 4th in the East. They was 2nd in the Central Division. I feel like they had enough. Like it wasn't like Donovan Mitchell was mid-season acquisition. They had time enough to gel. I feel like maybe this coming season they'll be a better team, and thus I would say get Chris LeVert back out of everybody you just named. All of them dudes is cute. You need Chris LeVert back on that bench. I promise you, like even if you're not gonna put him on the bench, like he can't really play the 3, so you kind of do need to play him on the bench. He's like the first dude off. He could be a 6 man in a year. That's just me. Maybe I'm too hype on Chris LeVert. I just think he's like enough in a league where there's not that many dudes who like you fighting Michael Brogdons and stuff like that. Like you could probably get a 6 man of the year real quick on a team that is not that far away. We was just 4th in the East. Like another season, another off season, jail, get together. I like their team, bro. I like Coach Bickerstaff. I like
JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, JB. I like what they got, bro. They just need to keep adding to the bench, and they need to keep Chris LeVert. Evan Mobley. Everybody just got to step up their game. Now I don't know in terms of like I like Bickerstaff, but he needs to get the most now out of the guys that are coming, like Mobley, Allen, and Garland. He needs to take them to the point where they're like, okay, you guys are stars on this team and show it. Evan Mobley, 9.8 points. Allen is not going to score that much. So basically, he's like at a big position. You supposed to be at the 4 or 5 kind of. You supposed to be able to get me buckets now. You need to give me a little bit more than like 9.8, 10 points. No, you need to be getting to them 15s, maybe 13s a night. Give me some 20 some points. Maybe you just mess around and give me 30. Like you need to get to that star range real fast because this team, the East, like the guys like Giannis, he coming down. Butler, he coming down. Like these was almost on like their 30s, like late 30s. Bro, you can step in and Joel Embiid, like this is MVP season. He's maybe got like 2 more superstar seasons. He gonna start regressing. So, bruh, like the Cavs have it. That's why I'm mad at them. I'm really mad. That's like one team in the East that I'm actually really mad at because you had, I feel like, probably the best 5 in the league. And there's no cap. Like, I don't think there's a better 5. Just like if you rolled out one list of paper, and I told you Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and that white boy, that tall white boy.
Dean Wade.
Yeah. Like, bruh. They got a squad. So, I don't know. A B is just a little high, especially for getting bounced out by the Knicks, bro. And you ain't pushing the 6. You ain't pushing the 6. Bro, you scrubs for real.
Oh, man.
You scrubs for real.
Damn.
Like, I thought they was going to go to the finals. Silly me.
Okay.
Silly me. Now you pissed me off.
Oh, man.
And now the last thing, rest in peace, Nick Gilbert, right? But the team apparently is taking donations for his death. Now, exactly.
Does it go to charity?
It better. I don't even know why you taking. You should be giving donations. All right, I'm done. But yeah, you gave away the season, you bums.
What you got for us, Slow? What you got?
Oh, that was heated.
I'm mad. I'm so mad at the Cavs.
At least haven't tried to give me the ugly. Like come on, Mark. You didn't even give me no ugly. You over here talking about
the
lovely,
Cavs,
sexy, and everything.
The Cavs are already ugly. I can't get much more than that.
LeBron gonna go back. That's what's gonna happen. Bronny gonna get drafted by them. Then LeBron gonna go back and they can win a chip. There we go.
So
the conspiracy over.
I find it very interesting that you compare Jared Allen, Afro, to Will Ferrell's, okay, semi-pro. It's on my head because all I can think about right now is Coffee Black. Like, how are you gonna bring up? Not gonna go anywhere, okay? I mean, Coffee Black kind of played the center, a little bit. He was the one who was the alley-oop, the dunker. Okay, whatever. I settled it. Okay. I'll just love you sexy right now and tell you that I agree with Markel. I think it was like a B. Like, I think you think one ththing of the Cavs. I think Markel think completely 180 of the Cavs.
No, the Knicks thought a different one of them.
Because I mean, you look at the lineup, like Karis LeVert's like he's good. He's good. He's good. But
he's solid.
Like, he's not using the role that he needs to be used in on that team
because he wants to start.
He wants to start. He needs to start, and he needs to get more touches.
Yeah,
and he only gets to touch it when he's coming off the bench. But then, if you look at the Cavs bench, like there's no one that really says, "Wow." I mean, you're talking about Dean Wade. I think Dean Wade's a bum. I don't even think he's that good. I thought he kind of sucked. So, like, you're over here talking him up. I thought he was kind of trash.
There's some guy. There's some, like, one of these tall white boys that they got that's actually kind of decent. I forgot what his name was, though.
I think you're talking about Markkanen. He left them.
Markkanen's gone, yeah.
Markkanen's gone.
K-Love is...
My fault. They sold. My fault, y'all. Yeah, you're right.
The only tall white boy they have is...
that was who I was talking about, Markkanen. He was
Markkanen's kind of nice. Jazz now.
Oh, you bums.
So, like, I'm sitting over here. I'm waiting for someone just to tell me the ugly in the room. The ugly is the room. You got two freaking twin towers. You can't get a freaking rebound. That's the ugly in the room here. You got two twin towers and they can't get a rebound. Maybe because both of them are twigs. And all it takes is one big to push them out of the way. I mean, one of them is going to have to sacrifice and just start eating a crap ton of... I don't even know. I think he's going to have to eat some... He's going to have to go join Zion down in New Orleans for the summer.
Hey.
And just start eating, working out and eating, because one of them needs to get bigger in order to fight in that paint a little harder. Because you can't have... I mean, it works in the regular season when you got two twin towers to get rebounds every other night. And other teams, like, their big man's getting tired, He's playing night in, night out. It works in the regular season. When you get into the playoff format, well, all Mitchell Robinson's thinking is, dude, I just got to beat this guy up for 25 minutes, 28 minutes. All I got to do is beat his ass for 28 minutes. I can beat his ass for 28 minutes a night. He was out-rebounding both of them. He was getting more rebounds than both of them combined. Julius Randle was getting more rebounds than both of them. I mean, it was a little... Jalen Brunson, I remember, had a game where he had more rebounds than Mobley. So, like, there really is no excuse. I think that the fact that they even achieved what they did, making the playoffs as a 4 seed, is why I'll give them the B. Then it makes me go back to wanting to give them a C, like Tevin did, just because of how pathetic it was once you got to the postseason.
Terrible.
Your bigs just shut down. Couldn't do a thing. That's what I was looking for. That was the ugly in the room. I mean, I think you bring them back. I think you bring them back. I mean, you got to try to run it again. You try to keep everything you got. I think you let Karis LeVert walk. I think that's an okay walk. I think you should let him go to a team that, he can actually do his thing, do what he needs to do at. I think Karis LeVert at like a team like the Thunder, where he can just play with some young stars and he can just go off with them. Because the Thunder are looking for guys to come off the bench and just score points. Or they're just looking for someone off the starting unit that's over the age of 30. Karis LeVert can do everything you need him to do, okay? He's perfectly fine. He does everything you need, and he's not too expensive. So I think the Cavs, they need to figure out a little shooting guard, small forward, so that way they don't have to have Donovan Mitchell do everything every single night. They just need someone else to help them out. Like Garland, in the playoffs when they were playing the Knicks, Garland and Mitchell both could not go for 20 points in the same game. There's a problem with that. If that's where all your points are going to come is from your guards. You can't have both of them not be able to get you 20 points in a game. Either they're not able to share the ball amongst each other and get 20 points, or the other team realizes, okay, if I shut down Spida, all I have to worry about is Garland, and I'm okay with that because I'd rather shut down Mitchell and have to deal with Garland, or vice versa. Like, okay, Garland's hot in the early game, let's shut him down. Now Spida's well, he's not hot. He's cold because Garland took all the points. I mean, the Knicks figured it out. Just bully balled them a little bit. So that's my 2 cents on the Cavs. I mean, I don't really know how you improve the team with no draft picks besides the second round. You're going to have to try to get some veterans in there, but then you're going to have to run into the fact that do veterans really want to go play in Cleveland? No, not really. There's nothing that really draws you in there. It's not like they have a good school system or anything. So I don't know what's going to make me want to go there. So moving on, I got the T-Wolves. Well, TT Wolves. I'll let you guys start. I'll just point this out. Rudy Gobert, once again, has lost in the playoffs in the first round. So has Donovan Mitchell. So in reality, were they both just one and dones in the playoffs, or at the Jazz, was it one of their faults? Or do you think it's Gobert's fault? Did Gobert have a bad postseason? Because Gobert didn't seem to have the worst postseason in terms of Gobert terms.
Look, man, this is a 42-40 team. This is a team that they barely 8th seed. I mean,
they beat the Pelicans.
They got 4-1 by the team. That is better than them. But you do have another situation where you have two should be quality. I was just say quality bigs. Karl-Anthony Towns, like we talked about, like I had said, like one of these young dudes that's not necessarily a superstar. He's a star. He's a good player. Name recognition. Doesn't want to bang. Wants to play on the perimeter.
Always got to bang.
And
pause.
And like he's good, but he's not superstar. So I don't know, man. Like Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, like I don't think he'll ever be like MVP level. I think he'll be like all pro level though, or all NBA level. He's a good player. But Karl-Anthony Towns can't make no MVP talk. And if if the team cannot get to past 8th seed with Cat, and now we brought in a former defensive player of the year and Rudy Gobert, you don't even have to play. You don't even got to play the 5, right? We brought somebody in of high talent, and we still had a barely 500 record. That's a D.
Damn.
Pause. That's a D. Pause. All right. All this. Oh, we traded for Rudy Gobert.
Oh shit.
Kendrick Perkins was trashing him. You get trashed by Perk. You get trashed by Perk. And man. All you did, right, is just go to the playoffs and get bounced. Like you was mop up duty for a team like the Nuggets.
Damn, mop up duty.
You was mop up. You got gentlemen sweeping. It shouldn't have been gentlemen. They should have treated you dirty.
We blew a 4-point lead.
They should have treated you dirty. Now there's nothing they could have done. There's nothing they could have done. They was gonna lose regardless. You should have got treated dirty. I mean, look. Eventually, I don't know all the numbers of people who is and isn't, going to be able to come back to the team. But from when I'm looking at it, like I just don't know where you go right now. You gave a significant amount of resources and assets to get Rudy Gobert. He's smacking around his teammates. They don't like him. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all said
he started COVID in the league. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We went to the bubble for this. Like, what are we doing, bro?
Hey man, y'all were talking about
And then
me.
ad gets suspended because of Instagram. It's like, bro, it looked like a clown show, and it's Minnesota. It's Minnesota. Nobody should be talking about you besides playing basketball. It's too cold
like
outside.
Cold like Minnesota.
Bro, that's not a joke. Like, it's very cold up there. And we talking about y'all playing the circus like y'all in LA, like y'all in Vegas. So I mean, and in the West is tough. So
yeah, very tough.
And it's one of those dudes who he's a star player right now. Maybe he can like help carry this team in their another rendition of him. But I feel like they're gonna have to decide when are we gonna move on from Cat, because that's our only asset that we can move on from and get something significant and rebuild, and is young enough to go through a rebuild. Where he going? So it's like that's pretty much where I see them at. I don't see them being able to get anywhere significant. And you barely made the playoffs with all of these dudes. 42-40 is a deep. Like, you shouldn't have made the playoffs. You didn't. You got gentlemen swept. Okay, cool. Like, you should have just got swept. Like, you're not a playoff team for real. Get out of here. You get a D. Pause. Get out of here.
Man, that was
that escalated quickly.
That escalated quickly. I think Tevin might have a vendetta against Gobert, bro.
Yeah, dude, what's your problem,
wait, hold on.
Do you hate the French or something? Do you hate the French?
I like baguettes. I don't like him. This dude told Shaq, yeah, I would have get you to go. I appreciate your candor, but bruh, know your place. Sir,
know your place. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, sir. Know your place. Shaq, even with his free throws missing, still got more points than you. Come on, bro. You ain't never been at that level.
Damn. Well, I mean, I was gonna be harsh, but I think I'm gonna let go a little bit.
You gonna let me have that? Fine.
I'm gonna let you have that one.
No, hit him with it. Hit him hard.
No. Okay, I just want to address Lawrence's first statement. Whose fault was it, Gobert's or D. Mitch, Spider Mitch's? It damn sure was mostly fucking Gobert, all right?
Well, but I'm tough. This was going to square off with him too.
Dude, y'all hate the French, man.
No, I mean, I'm
personal.
I'm the same way. I love baguettes, but am I really a fan of snails and stuff like that? No, that's not my thing, right?
Cargo.
That's cargo.
Yeah, I've been saying this for years. Amongst friends, people I work with who follow basketball, Rudy Gobert is probably the most overrated big man we have ever seen. I don't understand how someone who's won multiple Defensive Player of the Years,
right,
come every postseason, this man gets picked on.
He fighting Kyle Anderson. Like, bro, you ain't even fighting nobody. You fighting Kyle Anderson? Come on, bro.
He got picked on. If you can go back and watch the tape, for anyone that's listening, go back and watch the tape of any series between, Utah and whoever.
Yeah.
Look at those games. Gobert got picked on to the point that he was unplayable in a lot of those games. And this is just fact. I'm not even.
Remember Roy Hibbert? I just wanted to mention Roy Hibbert.
Yeah. Is he like a slightly better Roy Hibbert? Yeah, probably so. Just because he won a couple hardware trophies, all right? But let's move on. 42-40, like Tevin said, borderline playoff team. They had a win. They're playing, I think, 2 playing games to get into the 8th seed. I think they lost to the Lakers in the first one, and then they beat the Pelicans in the second. So, I mean, am I shocked at their season? No, because I saw what they did last year, and I know they're still young. And I'm gonna agree with Tevin. Cat is a star. I don't foresee superstar. Yeah. And I know in today's NBA you got to pay your players, right? So Cat, he got the bag. He got his supermax. He made All NBA last year, so his 5-year, $200+ million contract is going to kick in this offseason. Another contract they have to think about is Ant-Man. I mean, Anthony Edwards, he's going to be extension eligible for his rookie supermax, which can be as high as $247 million over 5 years if he makes the All-NBA. either this season or next season. And then Gobert still has 3 years of his supermax. I don't know how in the hell he signed supermax.
I don't know how you picked that up. Like, bro, you get an E now.
Yeah, if it could go to an E, I would give them an
F,
E.
Giannis.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we still don't give out Fs around here because we don't do failures. That's coming from Giannis. But I digress. So yeah, I mean, when we look towards their future, they're just gonna have a lot of money tied up into like 3 guys. And this was the one season where they still had one contract to play with before Ant-Man's Supermax is he's gonna kick in 2 seasons, but Karl Anthony Towns' Supermax is gonna kick in. So you have money to play with D'Lo, because D'Lo had like $30-something odd million left on his contract. He was a 1 year left of his. And they end up turning D'Lo into Mike Conley, and I forgot who else they acquired. Which, I mean, I'm not hating on Mike Conley, but
solid
vet who they needed. But for the price tag, I think it was a bad trade. I'm just going to say flat out it was a bad trade. All right, so I think they were already trending in the wrong direction with Cat's injuries, and Ant-Man is in and out the lineup too. So is Gobert. He has some injury history because he's getting old. So all in all, yeah, it's a C- season. When we look forward, they don't have any picks because they traded 4 plus their first round pick last year. So technically, 5 picks for Gobert?
Franchise for some guy.
So
who got to fight Kyle Anderson? That's my highlight.
So when we look as far as off-season targets, they really don't have any. They have a trade. I think they have a trade exception, but well, like you said, who wants to come to Minnesota, and what team is going to want to trade to Minnesota because they don't have any assets? So it's going to be hard for any type of movement to go on in Minnesota. So C-, that's what I got. Very disappointing season. You guys are some bums thinking Gobert was going to take you over the hump.
Hey, who won? Who won the fight?
What fight? Oh, Anderson or Gobert?
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, who won?
Bilal Muhammad.
I don't know. See, I mean, Gobert he was the one that got kicked out, so I guess he lost.
Like how you swing and you lose. That's what I thought. Cause I'm like, oh, Kyle ate that. You lost
and stayed in the game. So I think Kyle won. Yeah, I think Kyle. You have to give it to Kyle.
And the team was trying to hold you back because it was like, bro, you ain't even swing for real, punk.
And to be honest, I don't think the team likes either one of them. But I think if they had to pick one to like get rid of, I think Gobert is already like the clear favorite.
That is an automatic problem because you traded the franchise for this man.
Yeah.
For you thought you was getting light skinned Shaq? What you thought this was?
They would have been better off just entering the Wemby sweepstakes, bro. You would have just got another French guy, an even better one.
Not that far.
He would have got a better French guy.
42-40. Now the Jazz is about to retool off your picks. You stupid. Come here. Stupid.
Go ahead, Lo. What you got to say about these Wolves?
Man, baby Cubs.
So we include off season before the season starts as like the season, right?
The totality of what happened. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an F.
Transpired. Thank you.
It's an F, dude. It's an F. The fact so the fact that you trade for Gobert, that's a D. Okay. The fact that you trade for Gobert was just straight up D. All right. That made it a D. Then your season started okay. But then your season got so bad that there was no way out. So you're like, okay, let's trade D'Angelo Russell. Okay, so you got rid of one of your, I guess not stars, but he was kind of an asset that you had. Yeah. But you had to get rid of him because you couldn't figure out what to do with the team, and your team was already plummeting anyways. So you might as well get something for nothing. So you got rid of D'Lo. Now you got a bunch of old dudes kind of on your team just hanging around. You got a useless big man who gets beat up in the playoffs. He's good at defense in the regular season. No one cares about regular season. If all we cared about was regular season, I'll make an NFL reference. Peyton Manning's the greatest quarterback of all time. Peyton Manning's probably the best player of all time. But guess what? We don't say Peyton Manning's by far the best player because regular season doesn't matter. Okay, there's plenty of there. Okay, so Karl Malone and John Stockton are the best tandem ever. Well, we can say that in the regular season. Regular season don't matter. It matters what happens in the postseason. Karl Malone and Stockton, they were great.
Yeah.
Guess what? They didn't win the big thing. They kept getting stopped by the same dude every time because they didn't fix the problem. And the problem was they couldn't beat one dude. But they could beat every other dude. Okay, two dudes. But
show some respect. Come on now.
I mean, at one point you could say three dudes. Okay, Rodman was there for a little bit. So, I mean, the problem with the team is the fact that you have too much money built up into a player who's no good, useless, not worth a damn. You're gonna have to play Ant-Man. You're gonna have to pay him, but then I don't know how you're gonna pay Ant-Man because you're paying Karl Anthony Towns. So you're gonna have to move off Karl Anthony Towns, and no one's gonna give you any good value or good money for Anthony Towns because they know you're desperate to get rid of him because you ain't got nothing, and no one's gonna take Gobert off your hands unless you're gonna give them the bag. So like you're absolutely in the backup wall where you're screwed no matter what you do, and you're probably not going back to the playoffs next year because let's face it, you can't fill the team with all that talent. I mean, with all those 3 contracts, and still make it back there because you're going to win some regular season games, but then you get into that nitty gritty because you know they're going to be a play-in team. Yeah, if they do make it next year, they're going to be a play-in team, and then someone's going to take advantage of Gobert, and then you're back where you just started. So like, it's an F, dude. It was a horrible season. It was a joke. I don't even know why you tried to beat the Pelicans in the play-in. I mean, before the play-in, that was stupid. I don't know what the heck you were doing. You should just let the Pelicans beat you, because then you could have gotten some. I don't know. You could have got anything. I don't know. But it was a pointless season because you. I don't have anything to say, dude. It was just.
Tell him no. You stupid. You stupid.
It's just a shit franchise, dude.
And the thing is, they gotta play next season.
if I'm a player and I'm looking in the off season, I'd rather go play for Orlando Magic than I would for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I would be happy. I would sign my contract and ask for a trade specifically to the Orlando Magic.
If I have 2 options and the contracts are basically the same, and I have Orlando or I have the Timberwolves, I'd go to Orlando just because I'm not going to freeze my ass off, for one. 2, at least Paulo is, 21? Is he 21?
NBA team, yeah.
He's 21? Okay.
Yeah.
I can go take this kid out to the bar and get his ass lit. And he's a good player. I mean, at least he's fun. At least he's going to be fun to hang out with. I can't hang out with Gobert. What are we going to talk about?
We're going to make you eat snails.
If I say something wrong, he might punch me in my shoulder. We can't be out. You punch me in my shoulder, bro. You too tall. You should smack me around.
He's out here beating up his own bench players, dude.
Bro, some scrubs. But then again, are you that much far removed from a scrub? I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be too harsh on Gobert, but man, like, I don't know, bro. He was just talking too greasy for a team that went 42-40. Yep. And then you had to fight Kyle Anderson. And Kyle still won. He ain't swing on you, bro. I don't know, man. Yeah, that franchise, no, for real though. Like, all jokes aside, they're in low key trouble. I don't know what they finna do. I told you, trade Cat, man. Trade Cat and hope Ant stays. Pay Ant $300 million to stay. Because I don't know how you gonna keep him, but they awesome. Screw. Oh my goodness,
dude.
I don't build a franchise this way. Stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand how you try to build a franchise on defense. Like, and if the league is going to just outscore you all the time, I get having a big man is nice, but you need a big man that can, like, I don't know, have 2 moves. I'm pretty sure Gobert, all he does is rebound. I don't think he has really any offensive moves that he can just pull out of his butt and just score on at will.
I'm glad we picked these 2 teams because they're identical. The problem is that if you're going to pair a guy who Jared Allen, Rudy Gobert, defense, rebound, you're going to pair that with basically a 4, Cat, Evan Mobley. one of them have to be a superstar. You can't be a star. Somebody's got to be a superstar at that role. They're not. Cat is not on Joel Embiid's level. He's not on Jokic's level. Evan Mobley is not on that level. So if you're not on that level, you got two tall dudes who just it looks good on paper. They're the first dudes off the bus.
It's Mobley's second year, so I give him a pass.
Nah, bro.
But see, here's the thing: like the Timberwolves, like they have some they have some talent. Like they have Nas. You had Nas Reed. Did you really need Gobert? You have Luka Garza on your bench as a big man. The dude was a monster in college. You haven't even let him play. And the few games he did play, he has big numbers. Right. He scores more points than Gobert does in the games he doesn't get to play. Yeah. So, like, what was the point of Gobert? Right. There was no point.
No, Law, you're right. Like, you could find a dude who can do his role, and it was cheaper. You ain't need to mortgage the farm. What they gave like 4 first round picks.
4 picks plus their first round pick from the last year.
So this year they don't have it because you can't do consecutive. So they gave away this pick. They'll have 2025.
Yeah,
and then 2026. Man, you was dumb, bro.
Well, no, they traded 2023, 25, 27, 29. So they have picks in 24 and 26 and 28. But I think they're pick swaps. So, like,
man, LeBron's daughter will be ready to go to the WNBA by the time they do anything significant. Like, you screwed yourself, bro. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe not, because if they gave 23, if Bronny goes, because I'm just trying to make this work for them. If Bronny goes at 24, because he's going to USC, maybe there's a chance, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Minnesota. You suck.
All right. Well, after all that heat, we just threw out the Timberwolves. Maybe Minnesota will have a nice warm winter this coming season. All right. So coming forward, we have our rapid fire. We're gonna blaze through this thing. Okay. We got some great topics for you, or at least what we think are great. Hope you do too. See you there. For a man who took "Love Me Sexy" seriously, we have Matt Ishba. He really took it to heart when he said, "I'm gonna own this team." He tried to play on this team. He wouldn't give the ball back to Jokic. First off, I don't know why you mess with a man like Jokic like that. Okay, man could punch you in the face and knock you out in a heartbeat. All right, dude's got brothers that'll do the job for him. So he's just a dude you don't mess with. So why the hell are you trying to take a ball from him? And even when you got the ball from him, why aren't you giving it back? I mean, you're paying for these teams. You're basically paying for this team to be playing in this game. You're paying the contracts. He just knows he doesn't have to pay them overtime because he's already paying them too much to begin with. So he doesn't have to worry about that overtime. He's not got that overtime clock in his brain. What he's got in his brain is, I got pretty ball. And Jokic wants it. So he's going to punch me for it. And I'm going to get him fined for it. The fact that the owner didn't get fined, a little confusing here. Just because you own a team doesn't mean you get to do whatever the hell you want. I mean, I think someone like Colin Cowherd said it best. Back in the old days, we used to have media along the front row, and it was kind of different. Like, media doesn't try to get up in the faces of the players. They don't get up on the players. There's like a level of respect between media and the players. Maybe not vice versa, because I don't think the players really give a crap about the media. However, there is one thing that is for sure. The people now who sit at the front row, well, shit, I paid well over, I don't know what they paid for those tickets, but he paid a pretty penny for those tickets. He's probably drunk. I'm drunk and I paid a lot of money to sit here. This is my ball. Oh, I own the team? I don't care. I paid a lot of money to sit here and I own the team and I got a few beers in me, probably a couple liquor shots, maybe 2 fireballs. All I'm saying is, just because you got the money, just because you got the team, doesn't mean you can do whatever you want, though. Yeah, I think there should have been, maybe there will be. I think there could have been a little bit more done for the team against him.
Adam Silver's league, yeah, right.
Yeah. Anywho, taking that basis, y'all take that where you want. But moving forward a little bit, we were talking last episode about brooms, about a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we weren't the smartest bunch on that one, but you have to.
No,
you
we motivated them.
You can't fault us for it. Okay, you saw them those first 2 games; it was pathetic. You can make an argument that the Nuggets were pathetic in Game 3, but that's because the Suns knew that they had to win that one. Now, Game 4, I don't know if the controversy had a lot to do with it or not, but that technical, maybe, those free points that they got, maybe that had something to do with it. And, it was a 3-point game at the end of the game for a little bit, so it did have some impact.
Hey, don't be talking about the league like that. But but like, you lucky, bro. You just lucky. You ain't catch the right one. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like you said, you can't be just because you own. First of all, people need to understand like how the league works from a financial standpoint. Like they don't technically yes, they sign the checks because you own the team, but it's not your money. It's the money that is generated by the league, and you all have a salary cap, and you have to spend the money. It's not coming out of your bank account physically. So just a side note. But the Denver Nuggets, they are getting a little exposed because like I told y'all, like I don't really necessarily like their bench like that. Like they're not as deep. They just have very versatile players. So I told you, you got Kevin Durant. So with Devin Booker, somebody should be like thinking like this is the duo. I don't care, bro. This is the duo. Have you ever seen a 7-foot sham god? Like, no offense to my Lord and Savior, but I'm just saying, like, he's a sham, bro. Shout out Wale. But like, this dude is a baller, bro, and he's the best player in my opinion. He's the best player. Then I give Jokic. Then I give it to D Book. But you got 2 of the better 3 players in the series, so you should be winning. And now because they've unlocked this ability to, let's run. Like you have what's his name, Campaign. He was able to come off because Chris Paul was hurt. I was like, yo, like I was calling this sweep because what I was doing was just I was telling them like if you get swept, you look stupid. You're gonna get an F when we do your grade. Don't do that. Don't get swept. We motivated them, and now here they are.
Now look at them.
Now it's a 2-2 series, anybody's game. So I like that the Suns have shown up. I think whoever, of course, is going to win the first game on the road wins the series. It shifts back to Denver. So what, does the Suns have home court? Because if that's, then the Suns would have home court, right?
Nuggets are the number 1 seed, so they have...
Oh, yeah, they're the 1 seed. They have one throughout. So
yeah,
they're going to have to win a game on the road. So can they close this team out with the formula that they have now? Chris Paul, I would probably ask you at this point, bro, like, I know you may not want to. I know it may be a respect thing to have you start, but get him off the court quick so we can, like, run. And because KD can still run. Devin Book can run. We need to run. We need to move. Ayton can move. That's the only way that they're going to beat this Nuggets team because they're just too versatile in the half court. And they're going to make the Suns work harder for a bucket than they need to and get Devin Booker and KD tired. And that's just not a formula that's going to work out for you, as game 1 and game 2 have shown you. So I think the Nuggets at this point, it's like, look, we can ask Jokic to score 50. We can ask him to score 60. But if somebody else is going to have to step up, and you don't have dudes that are just as good as KD. This is still like a wing guard centric league. You don't have a wing guard that's just as good. Even as you're like Jamal Murray's not Devin Booker, bro. I don't care what anybody says. D Book, eat his lunch, give it back to him, take his lunch money, eat it again. That's just how D Book is. Jamal Murray is like maybe the 4th. He's probably is the 4th best player in the series. No shade, but he's just not D Book. So to me, it's like, boom. I told you the series is about D Book and KD. So I'm still feel good about my pick.
Okay.
And Ishbrook can catch these hands. Shout out Jokic. You bum. You lucky I don't get one of my Serbian hitters on your ass. My
watch
don't even have
out.
to do the
Them
work.
The Serbian mafia ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying?
I just saw something about the Wolves signing with I think they did something that they're going to be playing like Dubai games or something.
Yeah, and
They're
I'll
going
be
to be playing in the
Dubai.
Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah, preseason.
Is it? That's not the Saudis though, but it's like close.
Like, close enough.
This league is getting too close. Go ahead, Gil.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all were wrong about the sweep. It's it's a series now, 2-2. Basically, whoever wins on the road first is going to win the series. We got Game 5 coming up, going back to Denver. The Nuggets have, I would say, pretty much handily have won games at home. So we'll see how the Suns respond. They don't have Chris Paul, so they're going to keep playing fast. That's kind of the weakness of the Nuggets. They can't get back on defense and set their defense. So the Suns are kind of exploiting that right now. You said earlier, KD and D Book are playing out their minds. The one thing I would say is if Jokic has at least one more person to come along to ride with him last night, the Nuggets could have very well won that game. The man scored 53. And the second highest score was Jamal Murray. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets only got like 9 points off the bench or something like that. So we got to see some players on the Nuggets step up and got to help the former 2-time MVP get these wins, right? So I still feel pretty good about my pick, Nuggets in 6. So we shall see what happens. I think they play tomorrow night, so we'll see who's going to win the decisive Game 5. Who we got next, Lawrence?
Oh, well, recap. We got through the Phoenix Suns Nugget series. Now let's get into, want to stay in the West? Let's stay in the West. All right. So you got Warriors, Lakers. They're going to come on tonight. We had 2 of us that were on the Warriors side. One of us was on the Lakers side.
Goat side.
Right now, hey, get out of here, bro. Right now, it's looking 2-1. Oh, he's about to go to Goatman's Bridge. What he's about to do.
Yo.
Anywho, what y'all thinking about this series? I think the Warriors win tonight or tomorrow morning. You guys are gonna see this. I think the Warriors.
Nah.
As of right now, the game should clock off probably about 10 minutes. Warriors are gonna get this dub tonight. What are y'all thinking?
Man.
Don't give me that.
I kind of I don't like this pick no more because now AD decided to show up like AD is one of the most frustrating players in the National Basketball Association, bro. No cap.
Very much.
If AD gives me another one, he's good on these back-to-backs, barring he stays healthy. The effort that they gave, that's championship effort, bro. That's like that don't seem like the AFC 7th seed team like that. They wouldn't play like that. Like these are the champs you playing against. So to me, like I think the Lakers might just mess around and win this joke. I get the Lakers winning tonight. Warriors not getting gentlemen swept. Yeah. They make it a game 6 game. Yeah, they make it a game 6. Lakers close them out. I know I had the Warriors, but I think the Lakers are, as long as AD stays like this. If AD don't fold, sell his soul again, they'll go be all right. But if AD sell that soul again, like my pick is still my pick. But if I was a hoe, I would go out here. I would go out here and be like, I always pick the Lakers. No, I didn't. I picked the Warriors, but the Lakers with this version of Anthony Davis, non-homemade Anthony Davis, this version of the Lakers could actually take this joint to the finals. So, the Warriors better be ready tonight.
I agree. My Lakers in 6 is looking mighty fine right now. Anthony Davis, like you said, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be the best player in the series. It's going to be hard to stop him. He can get whatever he wants, get the rebounds. however he wants. I mean, Kevon Looney, he's good, all right. He's good, but he ain't no Anthony Davis, right? So, I mean, there's no answer to him. LeBron's gonna get his. If they can get another person to ride along with them, whether that's AR-15 or they can get D'Lo if he can get going some games. Right. I foresee GOAT going to the Western Conference Finals, and once he gets to the conference finals, it's pretty much set in stone. He don't lose those, so I mean, I think we got GOAT going back to the finals, and hopefully
we get 50-year-old GOAT.
Hopefully, my wish is, hey, maybe we run back the bubble championship and Miami gets to lick back. But that's another topic for another day.
Memphis gets a J for their grade. They lost to this man. This man 50.
Bums. All right. Moving forward, we'll talk about the other game that's happening tonight. Heat, Knicks. Markel, don't play with us. I knew you were watching the game while we were recording a little bit. So
he sure was doing monitoring this joint.
I know you were. That's why that jersey's on. How'd it turn out tonight?
Miami take the series lead 3-1, 109 to 101. Going back to New York, it's not looking too good for them. Quickly didn't play today. Ankle got rolled last game. To be honest, the series has just been about injuries. Who can stay healthy? Game 1, Randall was out. We took advantage. Game 2, Butler was out. They took advantage. And then the past 2 games have been back in Miami. So home court advantage. We did our job and got two good wins. And I think I said Heat in 5. So yeah, I think we close them out Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I had the Heat in like 6 or 7. I'm fine with my pick. I don't think the Knicks at this point are going to be able to squeeze out another win. I just don't see it. Their team, just how they're built, it just doesn't give that they're going to be able to pull out something. Like if Bronson don't go off for like dang near 50, I don't even know. Like this series is close. Like the frustrating part for the Knicks is like we're close. They only beaten us by like 8 points. Like a couple points here and there. They did kind of get busted last game.
Yeah,
but like they're not that much better. The Heat are not that much better than the Knicks. But you're not able to close the deal, and you don't have, in my opinion, a superstar. You got a star. So this is where you at. You win. We can lose to the Miami Heat second round, semifinals kind of territory. It's a tremendous win for the Knicks as a season because it's the Knicks. But yeah, the Heat about to get rid of this joint. Now I got the Heat in 5.
Yeah, I think it's a little frustrating because you got guys on that team like kind of like RJ Barrett. Like RJ Barrett, you're not supposed to be a slouch. I mean, you were playing with Zion and dude. Come on, man. Like, you played on the big stage in college all the time. You've been playing every game of your career so far in Madison Square Garden. You got to do something in the playoffs. All right, so moving on. Final series. Final series. Final series we have to talk about. I done forgot it. All right, so the final series we got to talk about. We got Celtics and 76ers.
The 2 big guns.
To be honest, right now, Harden is the MVP of that series.
Yeah, I mean,
Harden willed them to the win, and Harden willed them to win together. Harden finally, after all these seasons, finally is making a name for himself in the playoffs. I'm glad he's doing it, though. I'm glad he's keeping them because he's allowing Embiid to slowly make himself back into the in the fray of things.
Back into it, yeah.
And like last night, it was last night.
It was.
Embiid played pretty good. Embiid did pretty good.
Damn good. He's put up 32, right?
Yeah, but nah, you can't be letting Al Horford get bunnies on you. Like you can't get Garden tool you.
Something I did find interesting though is Tobias Harris consistently has had the highest plus minus on the 76ers team.
He's the key, bro.
Does all the
He's
little
key.
things.
Yeah, because he's in between playing the 3 and the 4. Like, he can switch off. Like, he can shoot. He's the key. Like, that's what they've had problems with this whole time, is like, can Tobias Harris give us something? Can he be a star? Because, like, half the times he's a role player. Half the times we're technically paying you to be a star. So they need Tobias to step up. Because James can score. And then Tyrese Maxey, bro. Tyrese Maxey has been, like, again, this up and down, this wild card that we talked about. Young player in a big time spot. If Maxey can give me something, and Tobias Harris can play up to his contract, then we're good here. The Sixers get in trouble. They get too cute, and B starts shooting shots like you're 7 foot. Like what are you doing? And playing on the perimeter. Like, when we up 15, then you can start shooting around threes full. You're not like anyway. Yeah, like, I had the Sixers because I said I like Embiid, but the Celtics can win this series. They've been in this position. They was just in the playoffs last year, went to the NBA Finals, messed around, went to the final. So they can do it, and they got the dogs to do it. But I feel like they may have caught the Sixers at the right time. So I'm still going to stick with. I think I had the Sixers. Yeah, I was going to stick with the Sixers. It's a 2-2, so it's very tight. Who's got home court?
I think it's back to the Celtics because they both won both a road game. So Celtics have home court.
They need the Sixers need to keep this out of Game 7. If you're going to do it, win the next 2 and get out of here. Even get the next one, and then get Game 6 at home. I will know Game 5 at home. I don't like a Game 7 in Boston for them. That's a big moment. But I'm gonna still go with the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he's motivated, right? Joel is. He won his first MVP. He's been dying to, hold the trophy for you. Thirsty for it for the past 2 or 3 seasons. So he's definitely motivated, and it has me worried because I had Celtics, I think, in 6. Do I still think that's possible? Yeah, but I think you're seeing the Sixers kind of exploit the Celtics. They kind of, gotten a little bit worse on defense this year. Mazzulla's more about offense. He's more of an offensive guy. Ime Udoka was definitely defensive first. So I think the matchups here, they aren't looking too good for the Celtics. And for whatever reason, Time Lord is not playing big minutes in the series. I mean, last night he played 14 minutes. I just don't understand. It's not like he was in foul trouble either. He had 2 fouls. So, I mean, you got to put a big body on a big body. I know Big Al, Daddy Al is, Joel's, that's his kryptonite, right? Supposedly. But you can't play Big Al 38 minutes. That man's old, too.
Are you tweaking?
I know Mazzulla is, like, technically a rookie head coach, and these are things that he's going to learn on the fly, but I mean, the average Joe Schmo off the street could have told you, hey, you got Time Lord who's bigger, younger, can probably affect Joel at least a little bit more, and Joel has a damn big-ass knee brace on his right knee, so...
Over there hobbling.
And so I think we might see a switch to that, play Time Lord some more. Also, the Celtics have to keep Joel out the paint off these pick and rolls. Joel's just like, he's sliding by and getting to the free throw line. So all he has to do is drop step and get 2 steps in. He's either, a hook shot or a fadeaway from 15 feet.
Right there.
You're not making it hard for him. He can't move, and you're just like allowing him to do that off of like a little easy pick and roll. Mm-hmm. So they need to make adjustments, but I wouldn't be surprised if this goes 7. I had 6, but it's looking like Celtics might squeak it out in 7.
Mm-hmm. Nervous. Keep it out of 7, Sixers.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for coming to our show today. We had a great time. Some heaters, some lovey sexies.
All that good stuff.
Can't wait to see you next time. Just know your hostess with the mostest, right here. Gave you a good show. Got the best out of my boys today.
A
They're
plus.
fired up. Now they're gonna have to go to bed. So good luck with that. All that fire inside your bellies.
Sleep. Oh, man.
All
No, we have a
right.
newborn. You don't sleep. Peace.
Peace.